When I'm human, and I'm gonna blow my horn till the cows come home, and everyone's gonna bow down to me. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Michael Leon Woolley, the voice of Louis the Alligator from the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog, and you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For this show, we check out the Super Nintendo world in Universal Epic Universe. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced, pixie dust and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in the parks every day, letting you know that the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was closed suddenly at the Disneyland Resort for an unknown emergency.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Universal, and go up, up, down, down, left, right, be a start.
Oh man, how do you follow that? And look, you guys have the easy part. You just have to listen up to what we think of while we drink them. But that sounds like a really good way to start it.
Hopefully you enter it right, or you got to do it again.
That's a good code. Oh boy.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
And look, the easiest way to support us is to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show. Also, be sure to like and subscribe as well as turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. So look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's explore Super Nintendo World. Here we are on the hub, the main topic segment of our show, and we continue our series of shows exploring Universal Epic Universe, the third gate opening in 2025 at Universal Orlando Resort. Yes, I do know we are a Disney fan podcast, but competition is good for business, and we all agree that regarding theme parks, Universal is the closest competition to Disney that currently exists.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to check out our past episodes in this series where we cover the other worlds of Universal Epic Universe. Now, there are a number of venues from which you can get specific details and rumors about this place, but for Mohicans, our listeners, lovable listeners have been around with us for a long, long time. For those that don't keep track of all the Universal stuff, but are curious, we definitely thank you for allowing us to do the research for you and trusting us to give you accurate information. Before we delve into it, here's a quick overview about the park itself. Epic Universe has 5 areas, or worlds as they call it. These worlds are Celestial Park, How to Train Your Dragon, the Isle of Berk, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and Super Nintendo World, the world that we are checking out on this episode. So let's get to it.
Here we go. That's it.
That's it. Even though Super Nintendo World at Universal Epic Universe has not received a fully fleshed out explanation on the Universal Orlando website, a lot of details are known and can be seen as this is the only world in Universal Epic Universe that exists in other Universal theme parks. Currently, Super Nintendo World can be found in Universal Studios Japan and Universal Studios Hollywood. In 2025, you can find this world in Universal Studios Singapore, in addition to Universal Epic Universe. And Universal reports that this version in the Universal Studios Orlando park is expected to be the largest of the 4 Super Nintendo worlds. So they have the blessing of size, which Walt did when he built Walt Disney World, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is expected to be similar in nature to the version in Universal Studios Japan, as opposed to the one in Hollywood, which is reported as being much smaller than what people expected. They're going to have a lot less stuff. We're going to have a lot of the similar stores and shops and attractions. So that's good. So you can kind of get a sneak peek, you can get a sneak peek of what we're going to expect, but maybe on a slightly smaller scale over in Japan right now. So as Universal states, and I quote, "At Super Nintendo World, you'll experience a new way to play, from challenging Bowser on the Mario Kart ride to venturing through Donkey Kong Country, and so much more as guests step into the world of Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Donkey Kong."
Yeah, I'm already against this.
Against Nintendo?
No, against Mario. As an Italian, Mario is my Brer Rabbit.
Oh,
So I am strongly against this, and I'm wondering when they're going to do this right.
Shut this down already.
I'm sorry. Go.
that is a valid point.
Yes.
There you go. That is a question. We were talking off air, and it's like, I was watching this video about the father of Mario, and you brought up that point. I'm like, I wonder if anybody's ever asked that. Now I want to go down the rabbit hole and see if anybody's ever asked that question. Why Italian? Why with a mustache?
Yeah.
Why plumbers?
Don't know.
Why that accent?
All good questions.
It's like Dick Van Dyke with the British accent, right?
Yes.
Anyway, look, so the portal that we've been talking about in past shows, make sure you listen to that. The portal to the Super Nintendo world, as you would expect, is a Mario Brothers pipe. However, unlike the portals in other Super Nintendo worlds that we have seen thus far, which is just a pipe, and it has the word Super Nintendo World, Epic Universe will have as ornate a portal as the others found in Celestial Park. Celestial Park, just for anybody who hasn't been keeping up, is the main hub of Epic Universe. And according to the concept art, which we have witnessed to accurately portray the expected reality, which is awesome, you can see the green pipe just inside the portal. But the outside facade of the portal is a gold Epic Universe type design with different colored pipes shooting up, stationed at the top, serving as its spires. Kind of like all the other portals have spires, these have different colored pipes, as you would see in the Super Mario game.
Yeah.
From those pipes, you can see various power-ups for the Mario game franchise, such as a fire flower shooting from it, a super mushroom, a coin, and at the very top, the tallest one is a superstar. It's just emanates out there. So that's the very tip-top point that you'll see in their spire.
So they move. It comes up, it comes down?
I don't know. That's not really explained. It looks like it should.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's just a stationary thing like some of the other spires that they have around the park just to keep it consistent.
Okay.
I don't know. But it definitely looks better than the entrance to from a lot of other parks, which is just a plain boring like green pipe.
Yeah.
And stuff. So that's about it.
Yeah, this one's it's plussed. I'm like really interested to see it in real life. I don't see like some of the other portals. I feel like we've seen some of the bioreconstruct like images, like the real images of it, and this one I don't see that yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of the latest updates either. That port. I know the thing is there. That maybe the framing, I guess, but I haven't seen them fully build it out.
It's not fully fleshed out yet, but it looks like it's going to be really cool. Like I like the way they have the icons of the power-ups like shooting out of the pipes with kind of like a sparkly effect. Like I don't know how they're really going to do that in real life, but I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious to see how they're going to light that thing because I got to imagine it's going to look pretty cool at night. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
However they do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so just like the other portals in Epic Universe, Super Nintendo World also has an inscription. And their inscription says, "Here we go." I'll play this again.
Here we go!
Of course, from the Nintendo 64 Mario game.
So racist.
There you go, yeah.
You okay? This is a lie. It's a lie. I'm seeing you wince, and I don't blame you.
Now, as I mentioned, once you get through that gold facade and stuff, you still get the effects of the green pipe. And similar to the other Super Nintendo worlds, it'll also have the lighting effects to simulate you traveling through the portal of the world. So you're getting warped.
Yes.
Through that. You'll hear the sounds and everything. Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. You get that sound as you're going through, you see the lights. And then once you go through that pipe, you exit into Princess Peach's castle. However, the unique thing that I've been reading is that our version, which is different than everybody else's, will put you on an escalator to get to the second floor.
Oh.
Which is this. So you actually enter the world on the second floor, as opposed to, well, technically the one in Japan, you exit onto you're already on the second floor already for the entire park. Mm-hmm. And then you go down into the world. Here we have, I guess because the way the topography is, you have to go up and then you can go down into the world to simulate that kind of thing. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why they have 2 stories to this particular land, which I'll explain later.
Oh, well, I can't wait to find out.
Yes. Like I said, once you emerge through the pipe, you'll emerge in Peach's castle. And upon exit from that castle, you are given a panoramic view of that world. And for Disney fans, this kind of reminds me a bit of when you're walking through Cinderella's castle. And it's more or less just a hallway to get to from one area to the other, rather than just like you're in the castle itself.
Right.
And you see a living room over here or a bathroom or something else, right? You just see that.
Or if you're a Kevin, it's a bathroom within a bedroom.
Yes. Either way, you're walking straight through, and then there's little paintings. There's little paintings on the side that tell the story, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. According to Mario's creator, Shigeru Miyamoto, you will hear the castle music from Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Yeah, especially rearranged and stuff for that park. And so, as I mentioned, once you enter and you go through the castle, you're transported to the world of Nintendo. And right off the bat, it's just full of kinetic energy, man. As you could see from the videos in Japan and Hollywood, you got the video game sounds that are all over the place. You have the colors, you have the music. They're fully immersing you into the world in a similar manner as what they did Harry Potter. So they designed these worlds after they did they first did the Wizarding World, and they got that level of their development down for their theme parks, and this was like the next thing that they went on the books for.
Okay.
You also have turtle shells spinning, bouncing back and forth. You got stacks of Goombas moving about. You got Yoshi mulling about, coins spinning, thwomps going up and down, which is kind of neat. So there's all kind of movement and stuff related to mostly with the Mario world, oddly enough, even though it's Super Nintendo world, but a lot of stuff from Mario in that particular franchise.
Did you say Goomba?
Goombas, yes.
Goombas.
Yeah, the Goombas, little brown things.
Little brown mushroom thingies, yeah.
That's not what he's referring to.
No, that's kind of a derogatory term.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not a tell even I do that.
Yeah.
For the sake of the children, we won't say what that equates to. But
Yeah, that's what those little brown mushrooms are called, yeah. Goombas.
That's what they're called?
That's
I didn't
what
know
they're
that.
called,
It's
yeah.
called them little mushrooms.
it's still derogatory on two
Wow.
different levels now. You see that?
We have a question for Shigeru
Okay, wow.
Miyamoto. That's interesting.
Where's the diverse?
Well, anyway, so when you walk through there, the tallest thing that you'll see upon entry is Mount Beanpole. And it is considered to be the centerpiece of that world. And you might be wondering where this element comes from. Well, Mount Beanpole, otherwise known as World 1-3, is the third course in World 1 of Super Mario 3D World, and its Nintendo Switch version, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So just like the video game, it has a flag at the very top, which according to latest videos has just been installed, Mount Beanpole. So the flag is there and everything.
Nice.
And they got thwomps and blocks, coin blocks, all kinds of question mark blocks, coins and clouds all established, much like the video game. You know, I've never played this game because I never had I don't have a Switch yet, and I didn't have a 64 back in the day. But just looking at gameplay and videos and stuff, I was like, well, damn, they recreated the Mount Beanpole.
Very perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, dead on.
You know, it's funny. When I was researching, I'm like, damn, now I want to play this game. I need a freaking Switch, man.
Yeah. That's how they get you, though.
I know. It looks so much fun. But one day I'll get a Switch and have that. So as you scan the area, you'll see Bowser's Castle in the distance, which is where the Mario Kart ride resides. You'll see the slow-moving Yoshis for the Yoshi Adventures attraction. You'll see the coaster, Donkey Kong's coaster, jumping around all over the place. And so I figured that'd be a good place to start. Let's start with the attractions.
Yes.
We've done most of the shows, so we'll get to it. Then the attraction that I want to get to and start off with is the one that hasn't opened yet in any of the Super Nintendo World parks, is Donkey Kong Minecart Madness.
Oh, yeah. This is the one we're most looking forward to.
This is the one, man. I am so psyched for this. I am so, and if you listened to a couple of shows back, we touched upon this, and I mentioned that I was very angry at Disney for not having thought of this, because I thought this ride system would have been great for like Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom type
100%.
minecart attraction, and yet here they are doing it. So anyway, this Minecart Madness attraction will be in an area of Super Nintendo World to be known as Donkey Kong Country. And Universal has this to say about Donkey Kong Country, and I quote, "Go on a wild adventure in the world of Donkey Kong. Step foot into an unknown wild space where lush greenery. In this jungle where Donkey Kong and his friends live, you can hop on a minecart from the Golden Temple for a thrilling ride through the mines. Challenge yourself at a play experience using your whole body and have loads of other wild adventures. Plus, you can check out all the food merchandise in the middle of the jungle. Awaken your instinct to play and enjoy all the fun and surprises that the world of Donkey Kong has to offer." Well, there you go. So it's literally a world within a world. And there's going to be a special entrance to this whole Donkey Kong Country that'll be just under Yoshi's Adventure attraction. So you see the Yoshis going ahead, and there's just like this little portal on the side where you just kind of sneak in, and then when you go through, and I've seen some of the art, apparently when you walk through, because you can't see this when you're in the actual Nintendo world, but you can only see it when you go through the portal, and then all of a sudden you're in this jungle, and you have the temple ruins theming and all kinds of stuff, and then you have that aspect of Nintendo in there as well.
That's
pretty
great.
crazy, yeah. So once Donkey Kong Country opens, I feel like new Super Nintendo World will finally be regarded as a true Nintendo World, because right now Super Nintendo World is pretty much Mario, right? It's just like all about that franchise wherever you see it open up.
Yeah.
And that's understandable because it's like the flagship property for Nintendo, right? Now, at the same time, I do acknowledge that Donkey Kong is pretty much related to and therefore part of the Mario franchise. If you remember the OG Donkey Kong game, if you played it on Atari or if in the arcades, that game where you had Mario ascending, or what looked like Mario, I don't think he was named, but it definitely looks like Mario.
Yes.
He's climbing up the ladders, going up the ramps, and Donkey Kong's up there throwing barrels down and trying to race them. He gets a hammer, smashes the barrels, and there's what looks like Princess Peach at the very top. Again, she wasn't named, but it pretty much looks like her, and that's a classic game that you'll see in the arcades and stuff. I think they even have it in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
They might have a Donkey Kong game in there as well. But anyway, so yeah, they're related, but maybe they're like cousins. So it's kind of neat that they went into this different way.
But it's like chicken or egg, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. Because Donkey Kong is, he's a well-known entity in his own right.
Right.
He spun off a bunch of video games, owned properties. He's got nephews. He's got sons. All kinds of things. Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3, Diddy Kong, all those things.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong? Wait, Diddy Kong?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Diddy Kong, yeah. That's his little nephew.
Yeah, it's a little bitty when he's got the cap on.
Yeah, he's
right?
like a smaller one.
He has
Yeah.
a Nintendo cap of him.
Yes.
Which is funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
Did they have Donkey Smalls?
No, thank no.
They should, though.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong was a really long sequence in the movie, though, from this summer.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I would like to.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. But anyway, I was just trying to elaborate that they are very related, and it makes sense to me with just based on the movie if they're trying to kind of reignite this for kids, which they're doing a really good job with my kids.
Oh, are they really?
Oh, my kids are super into Nintendo, yeah. But my kids see Donkey Kong as part of the Mario experience.
That's
So
what I've
that
always
makes
seen him
sense
as.
to me.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
considered them the same. Yeah, too. I mean, just like maybe two branches of the same family.
Right, yeah.
But it's funny you say that because it's like I feel like Donkey Kong is the Indiana Jones of the Nintendo world,
Yeah.
And the reason being,
Yeah.
I fell down numerous rabbit holes, and I found that the Donkey Kong fans are complaining that.
I would have thought Pitfall would have been, but that's more Atari, I
That's
guess.
Yeah,
Atari.
more Atari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never mind.
Activision. Yeah,
No,
I
We
think
just
Activision
showing
does
our
it with Atari,
age,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
But there's complaints all over the place that they're not giving Donkey Kong its due. If things go like it does in 2024, the Nintendo Switch may be the only gaming console at home that Nintendo has created that does not have its own unique Donkey Kong game. Kind of like
Yeah.
they have a unique Mario game for all the other consoles, but so far they haven't developed anything for it.
They're like a big part of Mario Kart. My kids like playing as Donkey Kong on Mario Kart.
I do too because they can push people around.
Yeah, he's a,
Yeah.
I still don't know when Donkey Kong became a good guy. Like, all I knew is he kidnapped Princess Peach and was throwing barrels at Mario. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, he was good.
Well, I think when King Koopa came along, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Okay.
That's how it was in the movie, too.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't necessarily friends. They were actually adversaries in the movie for a little bit. And then as soon as they realized they had a common problem with Koopa, not Koopa, Bowser.
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 I'll explain, but they're one and the same. Koopa and Bowser actually.
I
one
was
and the
going
same.
to ask the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, since we're talking about it, because I was going to explain it a little later because I was going to talk about the ride more. Bowser's apparently his actual name, his personal name. Like my name's Kevin, you're Danny, Rachel, Eli. King Koopa is his title.
Uh-huh.
So kind of like a Scorpion King, that kind of thing. He probably had a regular Egyptian
Like
name,
Caesar.
Yeah, like Caesar. Yeah. I'm the Caesar now. That kind
Yes.
I'm the captain now, or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, so King Koopa's like his title. He's the king of all Koopas. They have Koopa Troopas, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's the king of all of them, like Darth Vader, Anakin.
Yes.
His actual name.
Okay.
Because I was confused too. It was like, because in Japan it's one name and then here it's another name. I'm like, well, what's the difference? And I fell down a rabbit hole. I was like, oh, like Bowser's his name. Like if we were compadres and friends, I'd call him Bowser.
Was there like ever a prequel made to where we got to see how this little Bowser guy ascended to the throne of King Koopa?
His backstory? I don't think we
Yes.
have a backstory.
You just gave him an idea though, so now we're going to see that.
Dang it.
Another backstory movie.
Boom.
Here I go giving away $1 million ideas
I
again.
know.
Yeah.
It's just going to be
Video.
a salamander fighting people in the pit in the water. That's all
Yeah.
it's going to start to be.
We're talking about this Donkey Kong stuff, and I had a thought the other day is like what would really expand like the Super Nintendo world, and I can see them doing this kind of like they do with Wizarding World, is have The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah, for
Legend
sure.
of
That'd be
Zelda.
great.
Yes.
It's a huge universe, which still has a huge following.
Yeah, definitely.
I played the original one, but I haven't played the subsequent ones, but I had students that were just like all up into it, and the people are just still crazy for Zelda. So I could totally see another park, like whether it's Islands of Adventure or the original Studios park, develop like Super Nintendo World, The Legend of Zelda. and then to sell a park-to-park ticket like they do now.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, weren't they supposed to be getting into Lord of the Rings? Was that Universal?
I can't remember,
That was
but
rumored
that sounds
for that
familiar.
or Disney?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but that's the only reason I could think of them not doing that. But yeah, Zelda would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I could totally see them doing that, though. You know, but especially given like all the Wizarding World stuff that they're doing now.
Sure.
All right, so let's get into the ride. I've delayed enough, but let's get into Donkey Kong Minecart Madness Roller Coaster. And as Universal states, that Donkey Kong Minecart Madness Roller Coaster is, and I quote, a thrilling adventure on a dynamic, unpredictable ride through the jungle where you'll hop into a minecart and go for a thrilling ride through the jungle. The fun starts when you get blasted out of a barrel cannon at the Golden Temple. You'll even leap across a collapsed track, and this series of unpredictable thrills will make you scream with excitement as you join Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, so they're both characters in this ride, in this race in the jungle on a wild adventure to protect the Golden Banana from the Tiki Tak tribe.
That's
The
Tiki
what?
Tak.
The golden banana.
The Golden Banana.
What the?
So
Golden Banana.
I had to look this up too, and again I fell into that. I was like, okay, that's a hell of a story. I know nothing about it because I never played Donkey Kong Country. You did though, Eli.
When it first came out a long time ago. Yeah.
Do you know any of this story about the Golden? I had to look this up literally.
Is it
and-
like an Oscar or something that you
I was
win
gonna
for?
say, I never finished it. I never finished the game. Enough
So you never
to-
got the golden
I
banana.
never got to go to Banana, but I'm sure it's rich in potassium.
Yeah, it prevents like Charlie horses.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, I had to look this up. All right, so the Golden Banana is actually a curse. The curse of the Golden Banana.
So you don't want the golden banana.
You don't, but you got to protect it so nobody else, like
Gets
say your
cursed?
enemies, gets that and curses you and does all kind of stuff.
So this is the Indiana Jones tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Ark of the Covenant thing.
Yes.
It's like you don't want it, but it's like you can't let anybody else get a hand of it or else you're just as doomed
That's yes.
and stuff. Yeah. And in fact, it's funny you say that because in the cartoon for Donkey Kong, they had an episode called Raiders of the Lost Banana in which this is explained.
I didn't even know they made a cartoon.
Apparently they did.
Wow. Okay.
And that episode was called Raiders of the Lost Banana.
The Lost Banana.
Yep. And the enemy they're trying to keep it out of, as I said, is the Tiki Tak tribe.
That's what cracks me up.
Yeah, it killed me too when I first saw it. But anyway, it's an ancient evil hive mind of tikis led by a guy named Tiki Tong and is the main antagonistic force in Donkey Kong Country Returns. So the sequel.
Oh, okay. No place. So
Yeah.
is he? He's an ape as well.
I don't think so.
No,
I think he's some kind of tiki
He's a tiki
creature.
god thing.
Yeah.
I'm picturing those little guys from Moana with the Kakamora.
Yeah, Kakamora, yeah.
Was that what they look like? I don't know what these things look like.
I did. That's one thing I did. Actually, I never clicked this link to see what they look like.
What are they called again?
Oh, that's horrible.
Tic Tacs.
Tiki
Tacs. Yeah.
All I can think of is Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs. Yeah.
Like, are they little round?
I got the picture up in the Donkey Kong wiki, but apparently it looks like has a little crown. It looks really evil, tiki-like with crazy looking wooden arms.
Yeah, they don't look like real living creatures. They look like animated.
Emojis.
Yeah, they're like emojis. They don't really have bodies.
Man, Donkey Kong will kill these dudes in 2 seconds.
Unless he gets the golden banana,
Unless they get the golden banana.
which is the premise of the ride.
Maybe that'll grow them bodies.
Yes.
Maybe
yeah.
that's the curse. Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be like, they're more like emotions than anything else.
They seem to be musical instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that have
right? Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
They have
little-
a cousin's Tiki Talk.
TikTok.
Wow. Yeah, Donkey Kong should be able to completely obliterate these guys. No problem.
You should, yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so the cool thing about this coaster is that it is a boom coaster. That's the terminology they're using it. And Universal holds the patent on this particular design of coaster. And basically what it is that the mine cars that you ride in are on what's referred to as a simulated ride surface. So a boom coaster, there's 2 levels. There's a simulated ride surface, and underneath is the actual roller coaster track that the train rides on. So basically you have the wheels on the track, and there's a boom arm upon which there is the mine car that's attached. So if you think about, let me say, you take the ride cars for the Wizarding World, the original Harry Potter ride, and they threw that onto a KUKA robotic arm. Remove the robotic arm, but replace it with a stationary boom that's attached to a coaster track, to a coaster train set of wheels. And that's what it is. And so what happens is, because there's a fake track above it, the mine car is not dependent on that fake track to keep it onto the track, so to speak, because they have an actual guide roller coaster track underneath that's hidden. And so that's how they're going to pull off the effect of the Donkey Kong minecart jumping off, jumping over cracks into the track or ravines. There's one part in the promo art that there's jumping over a field of spikes, or jumping through a waterfall and stuff. And there's some video where it's like you don't go straight, but the track breaks and then it just goes off to the right and jumps down into it, continues in track. And just like the video game, which you might remember, Eli, where it jumps tracks. So, the one track ends and it jumps to the other track and then goes back and forth. So there's a lot of stuff they could do. And it looks like you're totally out of control, but you really are in control because you're attached by a boom to the actual roller coaster train track below, which is brilliant, which is something that Disney could have done with Indiana Jones easily.
Oh, yeah. It's so clever.
Yeah.
And now they can't.
Well, they could always pay for it.
Unless that technology is copyrighted in some way.
Yeah, Universal holds the patent. So
It is, yeah. Universal patented it, so Disney couldn't do it.
Yeah, they'd have to figure out a different way to get. But I mean, that is such a clever way to get around that. And yeah, Kevin remarked on this earlier. When we saw this, we were both like, yeah, we were angry with Disney for not having thought about this first.
Yes. Yeah. It's brilliant, man. It's like, how do you advance a ride system? Well, here you go.
That's next level.
It's like, now with that idea, there's so many things you could do. Totally.
Well, it's kind of like what they did with the carousel, where they really took a carousel just a carousel that's boring. They're like, yeah, except these animals are going to go 6 feet in the air. And you're like, oh, okay, now you got my interest.
Yeah. Yeah. So that coaster is going to be awesome. You're basically riding through the ride, doing all the things that you would in the video game. Just researching this made me want to play the game because I've never played it before, but now I'm curious. I'm going to go back, and just because I want a Nintendo Switch at some point in my life. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Just throwing that seed out there, unless people listening that want to get me a gift.
I think that goes above and beyond the Mohican gift exchange price limitations.
This is true, yeah.
But that's Patreon, baby.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Amusement Insider on YouTube has a great computer rendering of what this boom coaster will operate and look like. So you can get it. I'll have a link in the notes, and it's absolutely amazing. So that's that coaster. I'm very excited for that. They'll also have, and this hasn't been fleshed out yet or given much detail, but there's an interactive game in Donkey Kong Country which features Rambi the Rhino, which I never knew was a character that existed, but apparently he's a friend of Kong's in Donkey Kong Country. Have you ever ran into a rhino that's Donkey Kong's DK's friend?
No.
I was gonna. It's been a while since I've played that. I don't recall.
Apparently, Rambi's a thing.
Is he like a supersized rhino, just like Donkey Kong's a supersized ape?
Oh yes, that's right.
Oh.
Wait, yes, there's a bonus part, and he rides the rhino, and the rhino like goes through like any object. That's
really?
Right. Yes, I didn't know they had a
So
name.
it's like more powerful than
So
Yoshi.
It's like Yoshi, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yoshi can eat stuff, but I would rather the ramming thing.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's like it was like a bonus round in the game. Yeah, he would ride the rhino. It would get all the bananas it could, and then like any object that came out, the rhino would just knock it out the way.
That's freaking awesome. Thanks, Eli.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of him, and he's got his own Nintendo. Not Nintendo. He's got his own Lego set.
Oh
Does
wow!
he really? Oh wow!
He knocks that out.
Yeah, there's a special Rambi Rhino Lego set add-on for your Donkey Kong Lego.
An add-on.
I don't know.
It's like Rambi's like always the bridesmaid, never the bride. kind of thing,
Very dependable weapon to have. Wow.
But Rambi, he or she, gets an interactive game, which uses big hand drums, according to artwork. And apparently you do something. We don't know any details yet, but from the aerial photos, they are building this area. So I'm hoping to get some more details as far as how this game is going to work.
Yeah,
because they don't have it in Japan. So, or at least not that I know of. Maybe I hadn't seen it in Japan reported yet. But anyway,
I was gonna say they get their hands on everything first, so that's a surprise.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's that attraction. That's that whole particular world. Very excited to get on that coaster and experience it for sure, especially with the false track. And of course, and some of this other stuff you're going to find in the other parks, but you're going to expect to have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge or Koopa's Challenge in Japan, as I mentioned earlier. Koopa's his title, or King Koopa is his actual title, and Bowser's his real name, which is already open in Japan and the other parks. And it takes place in Bowser's Fortress. And just to give you a quick rough idea, because you can find videos about this, the backstory for this particular attraction is that Mario and Bowser have always had a fierce competition, right? And so Koopa has been plotting the perfect plan to defeat Team Mario on the racetrack. Yeah, I guess he's picking his battle, so he's going to pick the battle of the racetrack.
So he's gonna have like a super team of people racing with him or something.
Well, he'll have that. Plus,
He's got his minions.
Yeah, he's got his minions, and he'll design the track upon which Mario will compete with him.
Oh,
So not only does Koopa know what to expect, but it's his track. So
Yes.
it's like, there's no way. You may be thinking there's no way he can not win. He should be able to win easily.
sure.
And stuff, especially since Mario will be doing the unknown. But that's the whole story. They're going up against each other, and Bowser made his own track. So surely, there's no way Mario can win. And in fact, the funny thing about this is maybe this builds into a little bit of repeatability, but yeah, Team Mario doesn't always win in this particular attraction.
Oh, wow.
So you got to keep trying, kind of like Mario Kart. If you played Mario Kart before, you just got to keep trying and trying until you win a race or at least place in spots, which I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't like Smuggler's Run where no matter what you do, you always get at least one coaxium.
Exactly. That's
You
the
might
first thing I thought
lose.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I was reading, it doesn't matter how many coins you've accomplished or how many things you've shot down and stuff. In some cases, it's Bowser's track. He could maybe cheat, and it's like, oh, I win. All right, I'm the victor. But there are times where either Team Luigi wins or Team Princess Peach or Team Luigi, Mario win as well. But yeah, there's that chance that you may not win this particular attraction.
Is there a reason that Bowser does not like Mario? I know this is getting away from things, but I mean, you said they have this fierce competition. I always figure it's because Bowser kept kidnapping Princess Peach.
And, I watched the movie, and it sounds like that's the same thing too. He's like all into Princess Peach, but trying to win her affections and stuff.
Okay, so he thinks if he beats Mario at racing, it's like Grease or something.
Yeah.
He beats him at racing. He gets. Okay. Wow.
Oh man, yeah. So that's what it is. That's what it is. It's and if you've seen the videos, it's augmented reality with physical sets and projection mapping.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to experience it.
Definitely looks a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You'll have a steering wheel with buttons on it, so that's how you shoot things, kind of like the actual video game. And you'll have some goggles where you can see the augmented reality. And then if you have a power band, which I'll talk about a little bit later, you can earn some points that way onto your whole Super Nintendo World. I don't know what you call it, like status.
Oh,
Coins
wow.
and
Is this like the
power-ups?
Spider-Man Web Slinger extra add-on version where you can actually interact with the ride kind of thing?
Yes, but I don't think it's needed in order to have a good time on an
Okay.
attraction as opposed to the web slinging thing. I want to say it's more akin to the data pad in Galaxy's Edge that they never fully fleshed out. That it was supposed to have all that things where you could, you do things and that's supposed to gear the story. And this is kind of what happens because I'm going to get to the end, but there's supposed to be an overall arching story for the entire land.
Kind of like the interactive wand at Harry Potter. It's nice if you have it, but if you don't,
It's no big deal. Yeah, you
Okay.
can watch other people do it and you're just
Yeah.
as fine.
Okay.
All right, so that's that particular attraction. And then the next thing you'll have for the youngins is the Yoshi's Adventure Slow Dark Ride. And the story is that you'll go on a journey with Yoshi, and you'll hang with Yoshi as you search for Captain Toad on a treasure hunt. And you're going to use the captain's map, and you're going to try to find 3 mysterious eggs. All this time while you're going through the ride, you get a spectacular view of Mushroom Kingdom from Mount Beanpole while having run on this ride that's fun for the whole family.
Question. Is Captain Toad the same thing as Toad?
Yes, he just
Okay.
has to be a captain in this case.
Okay.
And you're probably wondering, why do we have to find him?
I didn't realize Toad had military ranking. Like I didn't. This is news to
Well,
me.
we'll learn later, but apparently he has a culinary degree because he's a chef as well.
A chef and a
yes,
captain.
and a captain.
Wow.
Oh, well, so was Steven Seagal. In Under Siege, he was a cook too.
This is true.
It can
This is
happen.
true.
All right.
Well, it's funny because I was watching some video and then somebody played a clip of Toad in the video game and he says, "I'm the greatest." Like, oh, well, you kind of do everything, so I guess that's a self-fulfilled promise. I'm a captain, a cook. I'm a friend to Mario. I have partners that help me kick ass, and I'm a mushroom. I'm cute. Here you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so the reason why we have to find him is that Toad is originally the person that invited us on a type of Mushroom Kingdom safari to help him track down the golden egg, but who has since gone missing.
Is the golden egg similar to the golden banana?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
is there-
I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't research that piece, but yeah, I got to imagine it's got some kind of ramifications if somebody else would have fallen in the wrong hands.
Is Mario after the golden plumber's wrench?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Fix-It Felix has that.
Well, he's after the golden plunger.
Yes.
He is a plumber.
The golden Drano
plunger.
bottle.
There you go.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But anyway, as you can tell, it's kind of a weak backstory, as a lot of Universal fans have said. And it's just simply an excuse to lead you to take in a few classic environments from the various Mario and Yoshi titles and experiencing them in reality. That's
It sounds like the kid-friendly attraction.
It's a kid-friendly attraction.
Yeah, they're not going to need a whole lot of a backstory for that. That's that seems like an unfair criticism.
Yeah, and so the ride vehicles have since been uncovered, and they've been doing a lot of testing, and you can see all the different colored Yoshis on the track. And you'll also see Yoshi eggs. As you know, if you play the video game, Yoshi comes from an egg. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a dinosaur and whatnot. And the Yoshi eggs are for ADA and accessibility vehicles.
Oh, cool.
Wow, so who knew that Yoshi asexually reproduced?
That is funny.
I never even thought about it like that, but now that you say it,
It just happens.
it just happened.
Yeah, the egg just appears and it's like,
lays
well,
an
where did the
egg.
egg come out?
And then a male Yoshi comes along and loves the egg, and then out comes a Yoshi, right?
Out comes Yoshi.
All
yeah.
right.
That's it.
Yoshi eggs.
Got it.
And he eats apples.
He does.
Golden Yoshi.
It's an OmniMove ride system, so we know what that is, being Disney fans. And as I mentioned, hidden amongst the friendly scenes are 3 differently colored eggs, which correspond to 3 different buttons on your ride vehicle. If you manage to press all 3 in time, you'll be rewarded with yet another digital stamp that that your power band is also connected to. So in the app, there's a Super Nintendo app, I believe, or maybe it's the Universal app that has a Super Nintendo section where you accrue all these things, all these coins and whatnot. So there's that. So those are the main attraction rides. And then you also have other attractions. They're not rides, but they're called key challenges. So these are little games and stuff that you could play. And as you mentioned, I talked about a backstory for Super Nintendo World, but this is it. And I quote this from the Universal blog. It says, "You're here," this is Super Nintendo World, "You're here on a mission, as one always is when in the company of Mario and friends. As soon as you enter the land through the pipe and into Peach's castle, the portraits on the 2 side walls set up your quest. Bowser Jr. has stolen the golden mushroom," another golden
Good God Almighty!
gold
How
stuff,
many
yeah.
golden stuff are they gonna have?
They got a ton.
We're going to have a golden meal. We got eggs, we got bananas, we got mushrooms.
That's what I'm
That's what the
thinking.
golden ticket.
I want a golden eye. Like, and can I go around shooting them? Like, that was a good game.
Yeah.
Also Nintendo. Well, I
Yes.
guess it's on a bunch of different platforms, but I played it on Nintendo.
Same here.
Yeah. So, Bowser Jr. has stolen the golden mushroom from Peach's castle, and Princess Peach is counting on you to retrieve it. To do that, you need to collect 3 keys within the land, whether it's by facing the key challenges, collecting all 8-bit characters, or by getting them from Mario and Princess Peach directly. Once you've collected the keys, you can now unlock the final battle between you and Bowser Jr.
Wait, Junior?
Yes, Bowser Jr. Yeah, he has a son that's quite rascally in the game.
No, for the kid.
Yeah.
So he's Prince Koopa.
Yes, he technically would be Prince Koopa. You're right. But he's Junior. He's Junior.
Junior.
You're Junior.
Junior.
Prince. Yeah, Prince, whatever.
I
You're
just
Junior.
not Koopa Junior, Bowser Junior.
Bowser Jr., yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Heir to the throne.
Prince
Heir
Koopa,
to-
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's Mrs. Koopa?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, who did Bowser get it? Like, is there?
She doesn't like to be in the limelight, She likes to stay. She's almost like Kylie Kelsey. She kind of stays behind.
She's
She
ashamed
doesn't
of
like to
the
be out there.
family because they're so evil. She doesn't want to be affiliated with that. She's in the PTA group.
God, Bowser's
using
so
all the-
embarrassing.
Exactly. She's got all the
Jeez.
golden ingredients, making all this golden stew and stuff. She's like, I don't want to talk about my family right now.
She might be pulling the strings, man. She might be like Psycho.
Yeah, she might.
could
No,
be.
she might be like the mind behind
The
all
brain.
This. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
the brain,
boy.
so to speak. Anyway, so here are the 4 challenges that you can do. And
Okay,
you only
okay.
need to win 3 of these in order to do it, but you can take part of these in the world. The first one is the Piranha Plant Nap Mishap. Piranha Plant Nap Mishap. When you start this challenge, several alarm clocks start ringing and wake up the giant piranha plant, which, as you know, comes out, eats you, or shoots fireballs and stuff like
Yes.
that. The goal is for the players to turn off all the alarm clocks so the piranha plant goes back to sleep.
Okay.
And it has been reported that this game is much easier to play as a team, but there are reports that you can tackle the challenge solo. You just might need to practice a bit. And so basically what it is this little area somewhere in Super Nintendo World that has a bunch of alarm clocks right next to this big ass huge piranha plant.
And this is all real effects.
This is all real facts. Yeah,
Okay.
you see the little plant. I saw the video with the Shigeru Miyamoto. He's pointing at the plant and it's sleeping. And you can see it breathing. And every now and then, and he's like, "Oh, let's sneak by so I don't wake up the plant." And so the plant puts its head back down. It's a great little video. I'll have to send it to you guys.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. But anyway, yeah. So there's this plant and there's a bunch of alarm clocks that for some reason are right in front of the damn plant. I guess he really needs to wake up.
Wow.
So he hit snooze.
Listen,
And
sometimes I set multiple.
that's understandable. Yeah.
How do you turn off the alarm clock when you have no arms?
It has a tongue. Use your tongue.
It just bangs it with
If he does what he does to me in the freaking video games, it just kind of smashes you with his freaking plant head.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, and then you're like, I didn't know that damn plant could do that. There goes my life.
Boo, boo.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's and these are big clocks that are stationed in this area. So you got to run around, and as they go off, just knock them down. It's like a little, light up and then you hit tag kind of game.
It sounds like one of those Dance Dance Revolutions thing where wherever it lights up, you got to put your foot and then yeah. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's in a much bigger space. So if
bigger
you think
space.
about like this into your backyard or your everybody's typical backyards and you have nothing but clocks, if you're by yourself, you got to run around.
Yeah.
And in order to win that particular key. That's why they say a team. It's a lot easier with a team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect sense.
That's one of the challenges.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like that's a challenge.
Yeah.
You do by yourself. Yeah.
I like that, though. It's like a little mini game.
And working your cardio. For that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I wouldn't make it. To play with everybody.
Oh, we
it
would
was
have to
just
do that as a
all
team for sure. 'Cause I wouldn't make it either.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it.
All right, so the next challenge is called the Koopa Troopa Power Punch.
Oh, but that sounds like a great drink.
Yeah, it does. It does. But this one's all about timing. So basically, you have to punch a red POW block at just the right moment so a spinning green shell bursts through the upper pipe and hits another POW block, which I'll explain. So picture this. You're looking at this little facade. At the very top, you see a key, which you want because you want so you can unlock the boss level.
Okay.
But protecting key is a Koopa Troopa.
Okay.
He's marching back and forth protecting key.
Gotcha.
Below the key box are is a tri-directional pipe, like a 3-entry pipe, right?
Okay.
The access points, they have 2 going left and right, and they have 1 access point pointed straight up, which happens to look like it's hitting it's pointed straight at the box that holds the key.
Okay.
Right? So, of course, if you play the games enough, you hit the box, but, you get the key. But it's kind of hard to do because, 1, there's a Koopa up there, and number 2, it's way up there. So what are you going to do? Well, just so happens that just below that pipe are POW boxes. So you have to hit the POW box at the right time when you start the game, and that shoots a shell up. And this is what I mean. When you start the game, you tap your little band in, then you'll see a shell start going back and forth outside of the left and right access points of the pipe.
And this is a real...
This is a real game.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a physical thing and everything.
Okay.
So you got to time it, and of course, as you can imagine, there's a point when it's in the pipe where you can't see where it's moving. So you have to hope you get the rhythm of the shell and time it just right where it hits right in the center and it shoots straight up.
Gotcha.
Because when you hit the POW button in the video games, things just go pop straight up. That's what you want to do so you can get the key and knock the Koopa Troopa off his butt so you can get the key, right? So
right.
You got your band. There's a video of Shigeru Miyamoto doing this, and there's a video of him. He's under the POW box. He's watching the shell, and he hits it. He misses like 4 times or something. And then the last time he finally gets it, and then the shell pops up, the Koopa Troopa falls, and he gets the key.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's kind of intriguing. Yeah, they put that in there.
Wow. And so what does he do with the key?
Oh, he has it. That's one of the keys you win to unlock the boss level with Bowser
Boss
Jr.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
okay.
need 3 of them out of the 4.
You need to get 3.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
Trial of the Thundercats.
Gotcha.
I read in one article there might be 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds like an escape room kind of thing.
It is. Yeah.
But on a large scale.
Yeah, I'll explain a little bit later, but the only way you can get into the boss level is if you have the 3 keys. The only way to have the 3 keys if you went through these challenges and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of interesting if you want to get into all that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, that's curious.
So that's another challenge. The third challenge is called the Goomba Crazy Crank.
Oh, here we go again.
You're up against a Goomba.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I know how you feel.
The challenge is pretty straightforward, but it takes some arm power. And basically you turn the crank, so there's some kind of crank, fast enough to knock down a running Goomba from the spinning wheel.
This one they definitely have in Hollywood. I've seen videos of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's all you got to do. It's very easy as compared to the first 2 that I read. Very, very easy.
Oh, okay.
You just got to crank.
Just crank.
And the last one is, at least that I reported, I didn't get the 5th one, but maybe Rachel has it. But the last one is a Thwomp Panel Picnic.
What?
No, not picnic, panic. Sorry. Thwomp Panel Panic.
Thwomp?
Thwomp. Yeah, Thwomp are those big block things with the spikes that when you're going through in like a spooky castle,
Oh, it's like...
they smush. Yeah, they aggravate you. And it's worse when you have like 10 of them because then you got to run through it.
I never
And
knew
don't
that's
stop
what they
or else,
were
yeah, they're called Thwomps. I hate them.
thwomps.
Yeah,
yeah.
because they have the bad faces on them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're sleeping and they get
I know
mad and
you-
they.
yes.
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 You're like,
Hey.
damn, I got to start over again.
That's like me when I wake up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's totally yes.
So again, this challenge requires coordination and teamwork. So players have to tap the blocks on the screen to change from either blue to all yellow or yellow to all blue before the thwomp strikes down and mixes everything up. So you have a series of tiles basically, and you got to flip them all to one color, to the other color. So at one point you may see it's blue, so you have to flip them all to yellow, and vice versa. Depending on how you start the game. And whenever the thwomp comes down, it just mixes everything up. So then you got to start all over again. So apparently the thwomp will come down at regular intervals, but you got to try to beat it before it comes down again.
I'm sorry, so all these challenges kind of spread out along the land, like they're not all in the same place.
Yeah,
They're
no.
just okay.
Yeah, and you have to find them. So you have to listen for people, and it's not maybe not as obvious from what I could tell from some of the pictures, but they're kind of nestled in. So as you stumble upon them, kind of like those secret worlds in like the Mario game, as you stumble upon them, it's like, oh, what is this? You see people doing it. So
is there like a cast member there regulating to make sure like one person at a time goes?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, there is.
All right.
Now the key that you may think, okay, flipping tiles no problem. Yeah, I can time it, do it quick enough before thwomp comes down. But apparently there are some blocks that have arrows in them, and if they have an arrow, whatever it's the block that it's pointing to, when you flip that one, it'll also flip the other one. So the order in which you flip the blocks also matters. So that's where the added challenge is in this particular challenge game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could take.
So you're not
something.
just flipping around, but if you tap one with an arrow, but you already flipped one down, it'll flip it back the other way, and then you got to start over. So you could also further mess it up.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be frustrating, just like the video game. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, all this stuff requires power bands and the app. And the bands help you interact with the elements in the world, kind of like the key challenges. And the app lets you know what team you're on, as well as your key status and your power-up status and your coin status and all the stuff that you've accrued.
Yeah, it is the universal app. So like I just downloaded the Hollywood app to see how it works. And it's like when you go into the Super Nintendo part of the Hollywood app, it brings you into like a whole separate thing that's all the Nintendo stuff. So it is that same app though. It's just you just need the universal app.
Yeah, and you know what's even cooler about that is that it reads from all the apps. Each of the universals have their own app, and each of those apps reads from the same database.
Yes, same login.
Yeah, you can log into your power band and continue your adventure in collecting stuff in, say, Japan or Singapore or Hollywood and Epic Universe, wherever you get to use those power bands. Yeah, so that your progress follows you wherever you go.
And I looked up the fifth. It's just the boss level. That's the fifth one.
Oh, that's the one? Yeah.
There's
Okay.
some articles say there's 4 and then the boss levels, and some say that there's 5, but they're saying the same thing, just a different way.
Okay, I got you.
So would you have to collect all the keys on the exact same day, or like could you do this over the course of several months and then find when you get all 3 keys and maybe a year and a half later you can enter into the boss level?
It sounds like you could. I don't know for sure. I didn't research that piece, but if your progress follows you wherever and it's retained, I gotta imagine it would.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Which is
It's-
great.
Yeah.
Because some days you just can't do it.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't do
I
it
mean,
all,
that's
yeah.
a lot to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the boss level real quick.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, the only way you can access this is if you get 3 of the keys.
3.
And that's how you get into this particular king. Now, it is rumored to be coming to Epic Universe, but it comes as a premium experience, of course. That's like I said. And the premium experience, of course, is investing money to get the power-up band and the time to do all the challenges to get the keys to enter this attraction. And so basically this thing is not obvious. You have to find it. And it is tucked away to the left of Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge in an entrance to Bowser Jr.'s lair. But as I said, you can't just walk right up and enter. It is guarded by an employee, so you'll need to unlock the area with your 3 keys so you can enter. And that's it. And if you're curious about how much a power-up band costs, I think it's like about $40.
Not bad.
Which
Yeah.
is not too bad, yeah. But you can retain
With
and use.
tax, you're probably close to 45.
Yeah, yeah, and apparently there's a way you can use it on your Nintendo Switch and stuff. I didn't get into that part of the research, but who knows. Anyway, so you go into Bowser Jr.'s hideout to retrieve the golden mushroom, of course, and the entire experience essentially consists of 2 rooms, which is a type of mini queue, complete with a pre-show video to explain the ins and outs of Koopa stomping, and then the area where the battle actually takes place. So those are the 2 different areas.
Okay.
Okay. The waiting area, which is filled with all manner of Mario stuff, from the various video games. So you can see things like portraits of Junior with his father. They're on vacation. And just various different funny things. Goombas, bullet bills, one-up mushrooms, flying Koopa clown car, that kind of stuff. And then Bowser Jr.'s little paintbrush. Like if you play the video game, he has a paintbrush and he'll do different things like change colors and stuff and wreak havoc in your game, which is kind of cool. But at the end of the queue area is a glimpse of the golden mushroom. So you get to see actually what this golden mushroom looks like. And it's displayed on a screen built into the wall, which then doubles as the pre-show video, which gives attendees instructions on how to do combat once they step into Super Mario Brothers Arena. Okay, so long story short, once you get into the play area, Bowser Jr. at some point, while you're watching the pre-show, flies overhead in his clown car and throws bob-ombs at you, in which you can swat away with your hands. There's bullet bills that get leashed upon you that you can duck to avoid getting hit. And then you also need to jump to hit question blocks. And then also, if you happen to get yourself a fire flower from them, you can swing your arms and throw fireballs.
Oh, wow.
Now, you're probably listening to me saying this like, how does this work? Well, basically, long story short, what happens...
VR?
It kind of... You stand in front of the screen and your shadow is projected onto the screen.
Okay.
And then from there is how you interact. Your shadow interacts with this video that you're seeing in front of you.
Okay.
And so as you're bumping and hitting stuff and ducking and everything else, that's how you fight the challenge.
Interesting.
And stuff. I don't know what you call that. I don't know if it's VR, but it's motion sensor for sure.
Okay.
Like augmented reality.
Yeah, but without the need for glasses or anything, but
Right.
it uses your shadow.
Shadow boxing.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is kind of like shadow boxing, but it's just crazy, man.
That is
the
crazy.
tech into this.
Your sensor is based on the shadow, the light,
Yeah.
as opposed to you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
It was what Xbox had what was it, the game where they had the camera and you could do things. I forgot what they called it, but it's a much better version of that. Where actually, Xbox had one and PlayStation used to have one where it could capture your movements. And the original Wii was kind of like that, but you had to hold a controller.
Right.
But Xbox, if you remember Microsoft, they had a version where they could capture your movements.
Kinect.
Yeah, like the Kinect. Yes. Yeah. So that's essentially the game, man. So you play the game and you fight the challenge yourself. So you're literally bouncing, punching, jumping, ducking, all that kind of stuff in order to beat Bowser Jr.
So let's say you lose and Bowser Jr. wins. Do you have to go back and collect 3 more keys, or can you just keep going back?
I don't know. I don't know what happens to your keys after it's done. But if I was Bowser Jr., I'd say, screw you. Go get some
go
more
back
keys.
and get some more keys. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's just as aggravating in the video game. So I'd be like, nah, boo-boo. Sorry. And stuff. But anyway, if you do win, what happens is that, when he throws bob-ombs and he blows up a hole in the rock wall to escape behind him, and you get to virtually emerge into Super Nintendo World once again. But you virtually will jump upon Mount Beanpole and claim the elusive mushroom, as well as a little flagpole and stuff at the top.
And the fireworks go off. You get the music.
I'm assuming so. I'm hoping there better be fireworks.
Wait, you really slide down the pole?
No, not in real life, virtually.
Yeah,
Virtually.
Because you're in the room and your shadow, so he blows a hole, and then you're seeing this video of you and your team jumping up at the Mount Beanpole. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a video kind of like at the end of Muppets where you see the outside of studios. It looks like that with that detail, and then you're literally running and jumping, so it looks like you're kind of doing it. But it's virtual. So yeah.
It's not official if you don't have the music.
You need the music and you need the
gotta have that
fireworks.
victory music.
Especially if you land on 3, 6, or 9.
Okay.
You need those, or 1, 3, and 6. Sorry. Not
Okay.
9. There's no 9. Yes, but anyway, so yeah, all this stuff with the interactivity and collecting of coins, they do keep track of a leaderboard, much like the video games, that you can see your name throughout the world on this screen and see how you rank against other people in that park that day.
Wow.
Kind of like Toy Story Mania, the same kind of way. Yeah. Now, if you remember that I stated that the entrance to the Orlando version will take you to the second floor.
Yes.
Well, what is on the first floor hasn't been talked about yet. But in Japan, the first floor is where the underground portion of the land lives. Just like the video game.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's reported to be like a maze with many interactive elements, like bob-ombs exploding, hidden interactive elements, which you use your band and stuff. At some point, you encounter a bigger bob-omb, and he explodes. And then all of a sudden, much like if you were Super Mario and you got hit with a bob-omb, you'd be reduced down to itty-bitty size.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the maze. All of a sudden, you notice as you're walking through, and it's funny because Shigeru was doing this, you notice that, oh my gosh, I got smaller. The blocks are bigger, and the question mark things are much bigger than, all of a sudden you're shrunk. you're shrunk to a little version of yourself.
Oh wow!
And it's cool because the place where the bomb goes off, he explodes, and there's all kind of lighting effects and stuff. And all of a sudden, as you're walking through the hallway, you get smaller and smaller and smaller by perspective. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat. There's a lot of interactive things here. There's coins you can collect, more little question mark boxes you can hit. And so that's what's on a majority of the first floor is that particular big maze, which makes sense because, and one of the most popular things of Mario is that underground world. You know?
Yes.
Other than swimming, but I guess you can't really swim.
Yeah.
You do the swimming stuff.
I did like the music in the swimming,
the music's on the
I
swimming,
did too.
so pleasant.
So that's all the attractions packed into that little bitty area of Super Nintendo World.
All right.
And so just kind of just go through the rest of this because you can kind of experience it in the other places. But we got some dining that's expected to come. First of all, we have Toadstool Cafe. And we're talking about names of Bowser and Koopa. In Japan, it's known as Canopio's Cafe.
Canopio?
Yeah, apparently Canopio, that's his name in Japan.
Toad,
yeah.
Canopio.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's good. So we can differentiate now.
You wanted to be a real mushroom?
He did.
Gotcha.
But he couldn't stop lying.
Exactly.
So he has a variety of salads and soups and breads and main dishes and desserts and whatnot. It's funny, the Japanese menu, and you can find links of these online, looks much better than the American menu in Hollywood. They even have a thing where there's like a little rice thing shaped like a superstar. So you have like a yellow rice kind of ball shaped kind of thing, and it looks really cool. But they have screens in the windows inside give a look of somewhat of an open kitchen concept. Right. So when you're in a queue for this restaurant, and you're going to order, Toad comes out in this little window and he says, "Hi, welcome to the restaurant. Chef Toad welcomes you to the restaurant. Hopes you're having a good day, earning a lot of points," that's kind of stuff. When you go and sit in the dining room area, apparently there's another screen and you can literally see into the kitchen, and you see all the little Toad buddies just kind of cooking stuff. So Toad and his friends are cooking your meal for you.
Man, if there's mushrooms in there, there's something wrong with this dude.
There's no omelets, though.
This sounds exactly like the Muppet version of the restaurant we were supposed to get in Hollywood Studios. MGM Studios.
MGM Studios,
At the time, that Pizza Pandemonium thing where you would get live updates from the kitchen as to how your meal's going. And, of course, the Muppets were messing everything up.
Yeah.
So this is, it sounds like an old idea made new again.
Yep, pretty much. Maybe by an ex-Imagineer.
Who knows?
Who knows?
A lot of them went over there.
So this wasn't mentioned for Orlando, but Japan also has Pit Stop Popcorn, which of course serves popcorn. It's just a little hut that serves popcorn. And for Kirk, they have popcorn buckets. So you can get a Mario Kart popcorn bucket or a Superstar popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
And then they also have Yoshi's Snack Island, which, one of the things, it's a calzone filled with yakisoba and cheese.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I'm going to ask, what is yakisoba?
That's like a noodle.
It's a noodle, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a noodle and cheese thing. So, cheese and yakisoba is shoved into a calzone, and the calzone is shaped to look like a tortoise shell, and it's green.
Oh,
painted green.
That's interesting.
So it looks like you're eating one of the shells and stuff.
Okay.
Lily eats yakisoba, and it was all. I can show it to you when we go in.
No. I thought it was a way to stay sober or something.
Yakisoba.
I was not trying it.
Yakisoba. It's a form of mushroom because Toad's making it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Genocide.
And all these dishes get you high. You see stars. You see mushrooms.
You shrinking. You growing again.
You punching
You
clouds.
shooting fireballs. Finding
know it.
keys. Getting golden bananas and stuff.
Also, at Yoshi's, you can get like a souvenir drink bottle. So you can get a fire flower drink bottle, a question mark box, a green 1-Up mushroom, or a red super mushroom.
Okay.
Whatnot. Yeah. And also, we've got some shopping we can do. We'll have a couple things that were mentioned is the 1-Up Factory. You can find them both in Japan and Hollywood.
I like that name.
Yeah. They'll have apparel, toys, souvenirs, collectibles, and probably one of the more advanced toys I've ever seen or has been made exclusive for the park, which is called the Toko Toko Mario.
I saw that.
The what?
The Toko Toko Mario.
I saw that in your clip.
Toko Mario. What's
apparently it's a little toy that requires no batteries or anything else. But you push it along and it just walks.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy. I saw it in the video. It was like that's the one with the turtle shell that was hooked. To the back
There's
of
two of
Mario.
them. There's one where there's a turtle shell with a little rod that's hooked to Mario. You push the turtle shell and Mario just walks like it's nothing.
Yeah, he's like, toot, 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 toot.
And then there's a version that he comes out of a pipe. You just stick this little stick in the back. Well, I don't know what it is. You stick it in his back, and then you just have him walk along the table, and Mario just walking along like it's nothing.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Looks like an animatronic without any electronics.
Yeah, I'm assuming like it's a bunch of maybe gears or small
Gotta be.
cogs or something. You push one and it kind of rolls the other ones. But
It has to, because it's amazing because of how fluid it moves.
yeah.
You know?
I thought it was going to be like one of those talking Mickey Mouses that you have when you walked around the park. It would tell you little things about the park. When you were talking about this little Mario, that's what I thought.
Oh, like Friend Mickey.
There you go, Friend Mickey. That was its name.
Had a Friend Mickey. Yeah. No, apparently this is exclusive to the parks, and this is the only place you can get it. And I mean, it's selling on eBay like crazy.
It looks like a cool toy.
I'm curious just to see. I want to know how it works. I'm curious, but who knows? But anyway, also another shop you have is Mario Motors, which is at the exit of the Mario ride. It's in Japan, but it's not in Hollywood. But since we're more or less copying Japan with our park in Florida, we can expect Mario Motors. And it has been announced that Mario Motors is supposed to be coming too, because you can see the facade or the framing being built with the big M, similar to the one as you see in Japan. And the thing here is that the pit crew, as I say, is always ready to give recommendations. And here you have exclusive Mario Kart merch, which you can only find at Mario Motors. Mario Motors. That's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. So, you can only find this particular merchandise, all kinds of Mario Kart stuff at this particular store. And it has Mario Kart music redone for the park. So they have special versions of it that you can hear in that store, which is kind of neat.
Nice.
Of course, and we talked about this with Celestial Park, you have the Nintendo Superstar store, which recently has just installed its Mario fountain. So you could see, kind of like Miss Piggy on top of a fountain, they have Mario on top of a fountain as well in a similar manner. Of course, you have the meet and greets as another little attraction. You can meet the talking Mario, Luigi, and Peach in this world. Plus, you can come face to face with Toad. Yeah. And so you get your chance to have your power band and take pictures of them and all kind of stuff, and maybe you can get one of those keys directly from one of them.
That's what I was going to throw out there. Yeah,
that's another way you can get those keys. So yeah, there's a lot of activities and stuff you can do in this park. Interactive elements throughout the world. You don't need the power band. You can if you want to enhance your experience, but it's not like you absolutely have to in order to win stuff or to enjoy yourself. And that's one of the things with the power band. It looks pretty good, and for $40, it's not a bad little thing. I could deal with that. I could live with that, having that little thing. So, yeah, that's essentially the Super Nintendo world that we're expecting to look at, and a lot of it's being built, as we could tell with a lot of the aerial photography that BioReconstruct is providing to the Universal Fan Universe, and everybody doing their analysis. And it looks like a lot of this stuff is coming to our much bigger version of Super Nintendo World.
Nice.
So there we go. Yeah.
No taverns at all? No pubs?
No mention of taverns. Oddly enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess
Celestial Park more than made up for it.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
I guess for the kids and stuff, they kept it and whatnot. But
yeah, kind of like when you go to Seussland.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just to your point, I think Celestial Park's got that covered.
Yeah,
where
that's
these guys
fair.
are what? Yeah.
You'll be back by the hotel, so they'll have.
Oh yeah.
There too.
There you go. That's Super Nintendo World. Looking forward to experiencing a lot of those attractions and just actually seeing it in real life.
Well, I can't wait till the Italian Defamation League gets a hold of this and we get this shut down and we replace Mario with Rocky Balboa.
I'm on that one.
Yes. Instead of fighting Bowser, you're fighting Clubber Lang or Apollo, Drago. Yes.
Drago.
There you go.
I must break you.
That Tommy Gun, he was terrible.
No.
Tommy Gun.
Tommy Gun was good, terrible. Good, terrible. Yeah, I think this is really ambitious.
Very much so.
I really want to see how a lot of gets out. And I think we said this before in the other park. They really seem to have a really good grasp of we're going to have these attractions that are going to be cool, but then we also have these ways to keep it interactive or entertaining in other ways that won't force for a huge line, which is a solution we've been trying to figure out for a long time. So I think that's good. My last hat I would throw in the property ring would be Metroid.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think, yes, with stuff like Halo and all these other games that are out, there's all this futuristic stuff. That's like the precursor to all of that. You get that.
I could see that.
I think the rest is cream cheese.
Would Contra be part of that? Or that's not Nintendo's exclusive,
That's Contra.
right?
Contra was done by Konami.
That's right. So it was just licensed to Nintendo. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Metro would be pretty bad. What's it, Samson? Is that right?
Samus. Yeah.
Samus.
I have two thoughts. One is a common criticism of the Hollywood version of this land is that it's too small, but I think that this one sounds a lot bigger. And then another criticism is that because it's so small, it gets really crowded and those like key challenges and stuff are not as fun because there's like long lines just to hit a box, like that. And that ends up like taking up your day. You're standing in line waiting to hit a box. And people don't love that. But it sounds like there's so much more to do here. And I also keep thinking this is just one piece of a whole brand new park. So people are going to like, how do you decide what you're going to do first? Like everything we've talked about sounds so cool. I feel like I'm going to need multiple days.
You might even need a week, Rachel.
just for this one park, though. Like,
oh yeah, true.
I feel like Super Nintendo. We just talked about 3 fully flashed brand new attractions. All 3 of them I really want to go on. I'm interested in the Power Up Band thing. We already have wands, so I could see investing the money to get the Power Up bands because we probably won't need new wands. And yeah, I could see us spending a whole day just in Nintendo World. And so never mind all the other stuff there is to do.
Yeah. And what I like about it is like at least 2 of the rides are something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Yoshi because
it's an Omnimover. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems
we've seen that
kind of straightforward, but I mean the roller coaster jumping track style ride system, that sounds amazing. The
augmented reality.
The augmented reality, that sounds like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway on steroids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can't wait to see how this works out because I mean, this is just all, it sounds inventive, creative, as well as being something familiar.
Yeah. They shot for the fences and they're going for it.
Good for them.
And it's, and yeah, that is definitely a criticisms I've heard of Hollywood. And as I mentioned, this is supposed to be much bigger than that. Japan is bigger than Hollywood for sure, and ours is supposed to be bigger than Japan's. Yeah,
right.
Because I mean that's the granddaddy of them all in Japan. I mean that's where it's the strongest influence is at for this.
I was gonna say, yeah, Japan really that kind of dictates what we do.
Yeah. Pretty much, right?
They do well. So yeah, so I'm excited for this, man. I'm looking forward to hearing what the listeners think about Super Nintendo World. If you're excited about it, what you're most looking forward to, or if you're not excited about it, I want to hear that too. Get in touch with us to share your opinions, and I'm about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed that discussion about Super Nintendo World coming to Universal Epic Universe. Look, if you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you will find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions about Super Nintendo World, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or send us a text message at 1-815-MOWEEKEN. That is 1-815-MOWEEKEN 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics. Eli, tell them what you got.
That's right. As always, when you're browsing that internet, you can go to my site, www.ivorycomics.com. You can check out all the works that I've done, fully page comics that are fully colored. The only ad for them is for the podcast. That's more than what the big two will give you or what other independent comics can give you. Those books include Project Geisha, The Molly Be Damned, and Savages. There's also a blog post and interviews, and of course, a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. So you never miss a beat, you never miss an episode, you never miss what's epic, what's being built, and what was the name of Bowser, and who was the Koopa, and who had all the golden bananas. So that's what you want right there. Just saying. So ivorycomics.com, get that love. Appreciate the support that's been given so far. On social media, you can find me there, facebook.com, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, it's always a pleasure to meet you, but you are a bot. You know I cannot greet you. I do not have the money to deal with all the stuff. People just showing up like pod people. I had to call Dan the other day because I said, man, did you just send me a thumbs up in the message? He said, why would I do that? I was like, just making sure you weren't a bot. So, it's all over the place. So no thanks bots about it there. So facebook.com, Eli Ivory right there.
What are you going to do when you run across a golden bot?
Oh, boy.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
I'm hopefully going to just throw a golden coconut at it.
Golden super mushroom and a golden superstar and defeat it.
I might have to give it a good punch.
Golden fireballs.
It's so crazy. They're all over the place. It's never a good bot that says, hey, let me fix your credit. I did that for you. You know what I mean? Nothing like that.
They're out there. You just got to pay a lot of money to do it.
That's not what I want. I want the ones that come find me to offer me that. That's what I'm saying. The good ones you always got to look for, right?
Yep. Especially gold ones.
Exactly. Start shooting fireballs right now. Also on Facebook is the Project Geisha fan page. So facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, right up there, posted up the hearts and the likes, EIvory504. And of course on X, I can be found at Hancockton166. So if you appreciate the madness, then you're bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation to one of the Universal properties or the Disney property or cruise or any major hotel brand around the world, nation even, you could do it through Rachel. Rachel, tell them how to do this.
Yeah, you covered all the spots. So I definitely specialize in theme park vacations and cruises, but I can also book major hotel brands and other resorts around the world. So give me a call. You can call me if that's the easiest way to get in touch with me. My number is 978-432-WISH. And you just let me know that you listen to the podcast, and at no extra cost to you, a little bit of the cost of your vacation comes back to support this podcast and this fan community. And we really appreciate it. It's the same price as if you just booked it on your own, and you're supporting a great community here. You can also email me. My email is rachel@magicourway.com. That's RACHEL@magicourway.com. And you can find me on social media. I'm at R Family Magic. That's just the letter R, Family Magic, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and sometimes TikTok. But the best place to direct message me is definitely Instagram and Facebook. And again, just let me know that you're a listener, and I'm going to be so honored to help your family plan a fantastic vacation and make sure that you feel well equipped to tackle the parks or the cruise ship or whatever you need to know for the destination you choose.
Yeah, and if you follow Magic Our Way Podcast on social media, we tag Eli as well as Rachel, so you can always find them to get in touch with them to get comic books or to book a vacation easily. And look, if you want to access all the information, you can go to magicourway.com/about us. Also, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. And any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. The easiest way to support us, and it only costs a minute or so of your time, is to leave a rating and a review in Apple Podcast and or wherever you access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc., etc. And we definitely want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
And you are. Bye!